Right, let's cut to the chase. United's midfield is an absolute abomination at the moment. It's imbalanced. There's mismatched profiles. It's become completely clear United need another midfielder. And while I believe we wanted, or still want, Amrabat, I think the difficulty in selling and moving players on means that a loan move for Ryan Gravenberch is a very, very, very good move if we can pull it off. And I think it suits both clubs. Now, let's talk about Gravenberch and, of course, that relationship that exists with Erik ten Hag. So, Gravenberch is 21 at the moment. Obviously, Bayern Munich, central midfielder. Broke through in 2018, winning the Nori Trophy, which is the award for the best player in the academy. Made his senior debut at 16 years of age. That's a special kid. I don't care if the Dutch league is a lower level league. That is a very special kid. He became the youngest player in Ajax first team history, overtaking a record set by Clarence Seedorf, who is an absolute G, by the way. Now, Gravenberch stands at 6'2", which means that he's able to hold his own physically, but he's also extremely agile, got very quick feet, and the way he carries himself and protects the ball and has that athleticism about him, there's a reminiscence of Paul Pogba about him. Now, some people are just going to immediately switch off there at the mention of Paul Pogba, but I think that's been a little bit unfair on Paul Pogba, and it's also just talking about one aspect of what Ryan Gravenberch is about, because the rest of him is probably a little bit different to Paul Pogba. Now, the signing or the loan move isn't just about the experience and the accolades that this guy got as a teenager, but the prospects and the potential that he can become and develop into. He absolutely improves Manchester United. There is zero question, zero doubt about that whatsoever. And his ceiling is extremely sky high. He just hasn't developed at Bayern for whatever reason, and sometimes that happens. Look at, I get this feeling that Ryan Gravenberch going to Bayern is reminiscent of Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne going to Chelsea, where it didn't work, and then they maybe need to dip off somewhere else and become the player that they have the potential to be. Sometimes going to a really, really big club, your face doesn't fit, something about your skill set doesn't quite fit, you don't get the opportunity, you don't develop as you should do. Now, that's what I think De Bruyne and Salah, when they went to Chelsea, wasn't the right time. Gravenberch going to Bayern Munich, it wasn't the right time for him. They paid 18.5 million for him, which in hindsight is still a bargain. And I think it was clear that he expected first-team football. It's been extremely difficult for him to come by. Almost invariably used off the bench, made just one league start against Cologne, and he was taken off the halfway mark before his two other starts, which came right at the back end of the season due to midfield injuries. Now, he operates in a double pivot on the left-hand side, and if that's not screaming out to play alongside Casemiro, I don't know. He is a complete all-rounder when it comes to his movement. He helps in the build-up phase. He's got excellent technical abilities, as you would expect, being someone that's an Ajax Academy prodigy. He often drops back to the back line. He helps create numerical advantage in there. He receives the ball in the half-turn. He drives the ball forward. And he also looks to move the ball forward and advance the ball forward, particularly towards the left wing where he likes to link up play in the final third. He has enough quality to play in every single one of the midfield positions. Whether that's a force as a 6, a progressor as an 8, or a creator as a 10. He could do all of those. And this is a player that is explosive in attack and disciplined in defence, which is what makes the difference, I think, between him and Paul Pogba. I just think from a physical point of view, there's a lot of Paul Pogba in him. And Paul Pogba was an absolute specimen in that sense. But Ryan Gravenberch's positional awareness, his anticipation of other midfielders, his movement is second to none. He uses the ball, he uses his body to shield the ball, and he uses the ball incredibly well. He controls large areas of the pitch, and I think he's so much more suited to that left central midfield role. Again, it's another similarity with Pogba. Sorry. I just think he would naturally he would come into the scene and be like, here, yeah, sound, no problem. And he would just take and run. And I think he would be an excellent player for Casemiro to link up with. And like I said, he is a very good progressor of the ball. He often looks to break the lines, whether that's from real deep or whether he's actually on the edge of the final third. He's got a great disguise to his pass as well, so you don't see that telegraphed bit of bit of passing with him. Opposition can't predict what he's going to do with the ball next. He has a great weight of pass. He rarely seems to underhit passes into players between lines. It's always an easy receive for whoever's taking it. And he is powerful, and he is a skillful dribbler of the ball, and he's extremely difficult to get going. Now, how does he fit into Manchester United? I can't believe we've got to this stage of the video where you're going, well, okay, all that's well and good, but how does he... It's very obvious where he fits. Him, Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno, 3 of those 4 play every week. That's how he fits in. But he also has the ability to fit into any system. If Ten Hag decides to go with a 4-3-3 and he's the 6, no problem. If he goes 4-3-3, he's the 8, no problem. If he goes with 4-2-3-1 and he wants him to play alongside Casemiro, no problem. If Casemiro's injured, suspended, he puts McTominay in there, no problem. He can play any of these, no problem. And I think he's got the mentality and the ability to be the number 8 Manchester United really need. I feel like the English league suits him even more than the German league, and maybe even more in the Eredivisie. I think we are yet to see the very best of this kid. And if we're looking at the Ten Hag transferometer, is he Dutch? Yeah. Does Ten Hag know him? Yeah. Did he used to play for Ajax? Yeah. Jesus Christ. If this isn't a Ten Hag signing, I don't know what one is. But apart from that, he is such a good footballer. And he is in a position that we looked at him last year before he went to Bayern and was like, wow, what a signing this guy would be. That's not changed with him having a bit of an off-season at Bayern. If anything, it means you get a player out of Bayern when they're still young, because that never happens. So I would go all in and try and get Ryan Gravenberch. I think he's someone that you can get on loan. I think Bayern would be up for that. I think they'd understand what's going on with United. And not just that, Ten Hag does have a prior relationship with Bayern Munich as well, having coached their B team. So I think there's a real good chance that this one is something that United are able to pull off. I'm assuming the relationship with Bayern is good. I don't know if it's counter to that, but I think ideally United want Amrabat, but that's a £30 million transfer, and we don't have the 30 million. So what are your options? Your options are going to be bring somebody else in on loan. Who can we get on loan? This guy. That's how he fits in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.